Hi, everyone. This is Miranda Ward with the Valuable Voices podcast. I cannot wait for you guys to meet my friend Christina Baker today. Thanks for being on, girl.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So she's in Michigan, and I met her through a dear friend of mine, and I cannot wait to hear or share her story with you and what she's got going. Just super excited. So you're a mama. How old are your kiddos?
I have 5 kids. So we have a 12, an 8, a 7, almost 5, and 3.
Wow. Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. I was not expecting that. That's a lot of kids. That's exciting. Such fun ages too. Oh my gosh.
They're great kids.
Aw. Okay, so you have a book that you wrote, a children's book. I can't wait to hear kind of what got you started on that journey.
So I have been writing for as long as I can remember. I love writing, and I've been, I guess, probably sitting on these books for 5 to 10 years. So yeah, that's a long time. Don't wait that long to start your dream. I think I was afraid for a long time of what people were going to think. And I didn't have the courage to step out, and thanks to my husband who kept gently nudging me, you can do this. This is really good content. And finally was like, you know what? Like, you live one time, right? And I've been telling my kids, like, you can do whatever you want to do when you grow up. You can, I believe in you. Like, I'm going to stand behind you and root for you the whole way. But one night I was talking to my oldest daughter about it, and the Lord prompted my heart, you're telling your kids, like, you can do all of these great things, but are you doing what you're wanting to do? Are you feeling fulfilled in what the talents and the abilities that I've given you? Wow. And I had to really sit for a while and examine, like, my heart and why, like, what was causing that fear. And so that was what I dealt with that. And I'm so excited now. Like, I believe that the timing is perfect. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have a book coming out, but I'm more excited watching my kids' responses as I've shown them, like, the whole process. Like, I read them. They were the first ones to hear the book with no pictures, no colors, just, okay, you have to use your own imaginations. And they laughed and they loved it. And I thought, okay, well, without pictures, that's pretty good. They're pretty young.
Yeah.
And so sharing this process with them, like, hey, look, this is the first sketch of the first page, you guys. No colors. What do you think? And they're just so proud and so excited. And they ask me frequently, oh, can I see the next page? And so I've been just watching them believe in themselves too, because they see mom believing in herself. So,
girl, yeah. I had goosebumps the whole time you were talking.
Aww.
And I love that because, yes, we breathe life into our kids. You can do it. You can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, I think that's a good check. Like, wait a minute, are you doing what you want to do? Right. But with 5 kids, you're busy as a mom. I'm sure you've got to focus on them. And sometimes we don't have the time to focus on ourselves unless we make it intentional, right?
Exactly.
I love that your husband was supporting you. I just love that, walking through the unfolding of this book and your dream. That is so beautiful. And that's something your kids are just going to remember forever.
Right.
So tell me about the book.
Okay. So it's called The Bedtime Dinosaur.
Okay.
And this book was inspired by one of my sons who, like, thinks he's a rock star, and I love it. So when he sings, like, you can hear him through the whole house. And it's always like a rock, he's got this serious look on his face, and it is adorable. Aww. And so one night I was like, okay, you guys, it's time to get ready for bed. So we're, doing our bedtime thing, and he's just jumping all around with his air guitar. And it just something in my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I've got to write this book. And it just flowed. It was just so easy to write. And it rhymes. It's a cute book. And I love that, like, parents have a tool now, like, that they can use to connect with their kids at bedtime, because bedtime at my house is not always easy.
Yeah.
It's not always, this just, beautiful story, and we're just all going to cuddle together on the couch. Like, I have 5 kids, so chances are somebody's going to be like in a bad mood or they don't want to go to bed, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we see like on social media so many times, like everybody's best, you know?
Right.
Well,
For sure.
man, my life does not look like that.
No.
Okay, well, this doesn't really either,
Yeah.
you know? And so I was just excited to be able to put out a tool or a book that now, like, it's a fun book. And so at night, I think it's so important that we connect with our kids.
Yeah.
In a positive way, you know, like there's so many things in this world that are going to try to tell them they're not good enough, or they're not smart enough, or they're not pretty enough, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And this book may not say, you know, to your kid directly, like, you are smart, but the fact that you're taking time to sit down and quiet everything else around you, and just focus your attention on them and laugh with them. I just think that joy and laughter are such an important factor in your kid's life. Like, those are the memories that they're going to remember.
Yeah.
And the same thing that, like, they're going to do with their kids now. They're going to pass that down to their kids. And how cool is it that, like, my kids will get to read my grandkids my book?
I love that. You're like leaving a legacy. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you have to be intentional about being joyful and happy and having fun, right? Because again, bedtime could be a struggle. I mean, gosh, I've gone through many, many different, my kids are 15 and 13 now, so now they kind of do their own thing. But man, there were really a lot of walks of like, oh, get back in bed. You have to stay. Like, just so many struggles. So I hear you. Like, Mom, will you lay in bed with me? And like, it was exhausting because I'm exhausted by the end of the day. And your kids, that seemed like still my teenagers, that's when they want to connect.
Right. You're like, I just need 5 minutes. So if you can quietly go to sleep and that mom breathes, then she's going to go to sleep too.
So we'll post a link, but tell us where to get your book, where to order.
Okay. So you can go to thebedtimedinosaurbook.com.
Okay.
And you can pre-order. Right now I have a pre-order sale going on. Okay. And there's still a few left up for grabs. So you get a t-shirt, and on that t-shirt, it matches the character in the book.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah. So that comes with that. It comes with a signed book. And then you also will get the PDF version as well when that comes out. So it'll be released this summer.
I love that. What age would you say this is geared towards?
I would say probably between 2 and 8 would be a good range. Yeah.
Now, do you have other ones in mind? Like, once you've done one, you can do mini, right?
I've got about 10 books written.
Okay.
So as soon as this one's done, I plan on just scooting right to the next one. Yep.
Okay, now, are they about your other kids too? Because I feel like your others might be like, right, what about me?
Oh, absolutely. I have one in the works called The Blue-Eyed Butterfly, and that's for one of my other daughters. Oh, wow. But I have, a lot of them. And I'm so excited to just get them all. If I could do them all right now, I totally would.
That's amazing. I love that. Okay, so you said you had a fear, and it sounds like some of your fear was what would people think, but what made you get over that fear?
So, speaking of Crystal, I had a session with her, and she is amazing at what she does. And I think that God prepares you for those moments, and he starts to bring things to the surface. Like, you know, you think you've dealt with something, but then there's still like another layer that you need to work through. Yeah. And I like to portray like this, I'm not scared of anything, you know, like I can do it all. Yeah. And deep down inside of me, there was still like a little girl that was saying, but if you put your heart out there, like, there's a chance someone's going to make fun of you, or there's a chance that someone's going to say something negative about you. Yeah. And you know what? There's still that chance, and that's okay. Yeah. Because there are so many more people that support me than people who don't, you know? Yes,
that's such a good outlook. I love that. And that's kind of the reason for this Valuable Voices podcast. Like, I was listening to different voices in my life that were not lifting me up, supporting me, loving me. And I'm kind of like, I need to stop listening to those voices and start listening to people that are supporting me and encouraging me. And that's what that's what I really want people to do, is just start kind of paying attention to that, right? You get to decide who you're listening to and who you're hanging around.
Exactly.
And I love that you're taking your kids through that process, and even if you do share that with them, like, here were my fears, here's why I didn't do it.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. because that you're just, again, I can just see your 5 kids like looking at you like, my mom's an author. She's writing, and they're probably telling their kids or their friends all over the place, like, my mom has a book coming out. That's so cool. I love it.
It definitely makes me proud. It makes me just so proud to see that spark in them. And I love that they believe in me. And I love that it just makes them believe in themselves. And they started talking about what they want to do. Like, I want to do this, or I want to do that. And I'm thinking, you can totally do that. Like, and then other things too, you know?
Yeah. Well, and anyone listening, like, you may not want to write a book, but it might be join a tennis team. That was me, or whatever that is, right? Just do it.
Yeah.
Life is too short. What's holding you back, right?
Right.
So you said you always wanted to write. Were you always thinking of writing children's books, or was it different things that you were writing?
It was different things, but I think as I got older, I knew, like, I just had a natural draw to that. And I guess having 5 kids probably helps. Yeah. But what's funny is that a lot of these books were written before I had most of my kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, I would sit down and it just literally would just flow out of me. And I thought, man, like, wow, that has to be a God thing. Like, I didn't, it wasn't like I've been thinking about this topic for a week and now I'm going to sit down and write. It was just like, I would get I'd see a picture in my mind and I would get an idea and I would just sit down and let God work through me and write it.
That's the best way to do it. I love that. Now, did you read the other books to the kids too? Like as they were growing up and everything? Yeah. I love that. So do you plan on like book signings? I don't know what you really do as an author. Do you plan on book signings or what's next?
I think so. So I'm learning all of this stuff, like things that I never even thought about. I'm like, wow. So yeah, I'm hoping to do some book signings. I don't really have any details yet, but I will let you know. I want my kids to be there with me. That was one thing. One of my girls was like, can I go? 'Cause I'll hand you the pen. And I thought, okay.
Or gosh, I'm just like, my mind is going. I'm like, you could go to their school and read to them. You could do like an online, I was going to say book club, but even just reading. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Or gosh, donating it to so many, I don't know. There's just.
Oh, we've already donated. Yeah. We've already donated some books to like a children's therapy center, so I just, that kind of stuff, like to have the ability to do that. Yeah. It fulfills me. It makes me, I'm like, that's what I was put here to do. Like, I want to help people however I can. And that's, one thing I would say, and I remember in high school, people are like, well, what do you want to do? And I didn't have a direct answer. I just was like, I just want to help people. And I don't necessarily know what that, looks like. But I love that God takes you on a journey, because it might be one thing for 5 years, and then you can watch it transition into something different or something more,
Yeah, for sure. As you go and take some steps this direction, then it might lead to something else, right?
Yeah. Other doors open. And that's the thing that I think a lot of times when we are scared or we're hesitant, we're like, we don't see any doors open. Well, but you're not looking for the doors. You're not even really taking any steps toward a door. Right. Like if my office door is closed and I don't take action to open it, I'm going to walk right into the door. Yeah. And not,
I could even see you like having a course for kids or for parents or that want to write a book, that feel like they want a book to write. I mean, it sounds like it was so easy for you.
It was.
And maybe they just have to get over that fear, and they need somebody like you to say, hey, here's my story. Here's what I did.
Yeah, if it could help anyone, I would be totally on board.
That's so sweet. Well, I love your heart, and I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to watch the rest of your journey and see it unfold. So thank you so much for being on here. We'll put a link.
Thank you.
And just super inspiring. I love it. Now, one last question, was your childhood like that? Like, did you have your parents reading to you? Like, did you have that kind of love for reading at bedtime when you grew up?
We did. They read to us every once in a while. And what's funny is growing up, I really didn't enjoy reading all that much.
Right.
And I think that might be another reason that I was so passionate about it, is like, if I can get my kids young to enjoy these books, then that's something they can take with them their whole life.
That's so good. That's so good. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you. It was such a blessing to hear your story and just to meet you. Hopefully we'll meet in person someday, but I can't wait to just gosh, I want to get it, and I want to get the t-shirt and all the fun stuff. So thank you guys for listening. If you know anybody else that should be on the Valuable Voices, my heart is just to share amazing people like Christy. She's going by Christina because that's on the book. But yeah, that's just my heart. And I like, how inspiring was that? Christy, I just love everything about that. So thank you for taking the time today, and bless you.
Thank you.